And now it's time to celebrate every tenth of a second. Every bhp, every cc, every curve and every crease that makes the blood in our veins go faster. Welcome to the 7th Autocar Performance Show. Held in Mumbai, the show attracted piston heads of all kinds. There were roaring Astons, smoking hot BMWs, staggering Audis, Mercs, Ferraris and even regal Rolls Royces. There were also full-fledged racing machines from F1, saloon car series and rallying. There were gadgets for your cars and bikes as well. When the gates were thrown open, the speed quotient was upped by the fastest Indian. Need I say more? He made a speedy round of what was on offer.
The Indian Grand Prix has put a big smile on the face and I haven't stopped smiling since then. I think the awareness of speed and Formula One and fast cars has gone up a lot, I think, and everybody is really excited. There's a lot of buzz around it right now. It's getting bigger and bigger every year. I mean, there's a lot of nice cars displayed out here. The show is one of its kind in India and I like it a lot. Obviously, it's all about performance. I love the XKRS, the Jaguar. Obviously, it's a fantastic car, 540 horsepower, true supercar. And there are a lot of other nice cars as well, but that has to be my favorite, yes.
That's right, making its Indian debut at the Autocar Performance Show, standing right next to Jaguar's recently facelifted XF Saloon, was the Leaping Cat's baddest sports car, the XKRS. For this S version, Jaguar has cranked up the bhp count from its 5-litre supercharged V8 to 542. A full aerodynamic kit and a new suspension setup keeps it planted as it whizzes to 100 km an hour from standstill in 4.2 seconds. And then it goes on to hit a top speed of 300 km an hour. That is scorching hot. Meanwhile, it was the Astons bellowing to take the XKRS head-on. The roaring Vantage V8's 420 bhp of power might be down on the Jaguar, but on the styling front, they were a close match. However, the sound of the 4-door Rapide belting out 469 bhp from its 6-litre V12 motor was mesmerizing. As you can see from the crowd, it drew. And the 2.2 crore Rapide is attracting a lot of attention even amongst Indian supercar buyers.
The brand's been received very well. They've performed very well on our roads. There's been no complaint whatsoever in terms of either driving quality or ground clearance, the fuel quality. There's so many of these issues that are relevant to sports cars. I think at the end of the day, I feel happy that the brand's been received well. By doing between 25 and 30 units for the year, we feel it's a good platform to have gotten started. All models of the car have come into the country. The hottest model is the Rapide. It does roughly half our volumes.
Well, a supercar that's certainly making waves in the Indian market is from Audi.
Now, what would a performance show be without some supercars? And this one is really, really special because it's the Audi R8 V10 Spider, and in this yellow color, I think it looks spectacular.
The Spider's contrasting silver windshield frame is very distinctive and attractive. Its convertible charms were also a huge draw for the crowds. And then there's the Lamborghini-sourced 5.2-litre V10 with 517 bhp to freak out with. And at 1.5 crores, it seems like a steal. Meanwhile, BMW had a car on its stall that's given up its convertible charms and seems better for it. And that is the 6 Series Coupe, which has ditched the soft top. It also gets adaptive LED headlights and the angular corona lights for a meaner look. The 407 bhp V8 petrol motor is now joined by a 313 bhp straight-six diesel, which is also 13 lakhs cheaper than the petrol. And that will surely widen the 6 Series appeal substantially. And wrapped with a mean and brooding air was BMW's M3 in the Frozen Black Limited Edition. Incredibly, the matte black paint job made this high-revving 4-liter V8 powered machine with 414 bhp even more menacing than normal. But the heart wants what the heart wants, as I found out further down at the BMW stores.
Now, if I could have a bike like this, why would I want a car? I mean, this has got everything. 6 cylinders, incline, forward inclination, and well, lots and lots of power, awesome build quality, and lots of storage space.
160 bhp from its 1649cc 6-cylinder motor can whoop many a performance car despite the bike's 350 kilos. But it is packed with a lot of equipment as well. Electronic suspension adjustment, adaptive xenons, sat-nav, ABS, traction control, an electrically adjustable windscreen and heated grips. And when it comes to storage, how much do you want? And how's this for customized luggage? But at 30 lakh rupees, it costs as much as your compact luxury saloon. But then there were other bikes roaring for attention at the Superbike Gallery. Harley-Davidson's Street Glide and the Heritage Softail, Ducati's matte black 848 and Monster 796 were all having a raucous party. It was mesmerizing, each distinctive beat mixing into an addictive chant. Nearby, I found a Pulse, well, Renault's Pulse. In the flesh, it was quite a pleasant surprise.
Now the Renault Pulse is based on the Micra, and that's a car that I never liked much in terms of styling. I thought it was just too cutesy and too much for the ladies, I felt. And when the Pulse was unveiled at the Indian Grand Prix by the Renault bigwigs, I thought, well, it looked better, but maybe not all that impressive. But having seen it now in the flesh, I have to say it lost that cutesiness, looks, well, kind of manly and, well, nicer.
This is all thanks to the work put in by Renault's Indian design studio. The angular headlamps and a stronger chin make a big difference. The rest will remain mechanically identical to the Nissan Micra. Pricing though will be announced at the Auto Expo in January. Meanwhile, another small car to catch my attention was the Premier Rio. This compact SUV now comes with a 1.2-litre petrol motor that delivers 77 bhp. Interiors have been revamped and the Rio now offers keyless entry, alloy wheels and ABS too. It is priced at 4.95 lakhs for the base version and 5.86 lakhs for the top-end version. A little further ahead, I thought I had missed out on a supercar. The crowd around it suggested it to be so.
Well, this car is attracting a lot of attention, a lot of photos being taken of it, and rightfully so, right? Because this is a Ferrari, isn't it?
But as it turns out, it was not a Ferrari. It was instead a Toyota Corolla.
It's basically a replica of a Ferrari, which is a model of F430. But it's not a Ferrari actually. It can be with any car, it doesn't have to be a particular model. But what we've used is a Toyota Corolla. It took us approximately 1 year to develop it. But in future, if anybody wants to replicate it, it can be done within 3 months. Actual Ferrari is beyond everyone's reach. So we've kept the price around 10 lakhs.
But if you want to tune up what's under the hood, then there was something on that front too, at the Race Dynamics store.
Dieseltronic is primarily meant for all the diesel CRDI cars, and Powertronic is for the latest generation EFI bikes. Dieseltronic is a product which gives you the best of both worlds. It'll give you more mileage, also it'll give you more power. You're looking at the higher end of 35% in performance gains, and from anywhere between 10 to 30% in fuel efficiency gains. Pricing is 20,000 for now for the Pro version.
Race Dynamics was even giving demos of the products outside. So you could go out, get into the car and gauge for yourself whether there was the promised extra punch or not. Meanwhile, there was a lot happening outside. How about testing out a Rolls-Royce Phantom?
Now, most people would be lucky to be able to photograph this Rolls-Royce right here, or to get a photo taken of theirs standing next to the car. But there are some people here at the Autocar Performance Show who are really lucking out, because these are the people who are winning a special lottery every 3 hours, and they get to then hop into the Rolls-Royce right here, which is behind in this crowd. They get to hop in and get taken for a ride. And this is our lucky winner for this these 3 hours. He's a subscriber to Autocar India, and he's won this lottery to get taken for a drive in the Rolls-Royce. Thanks.
Raju Pujari was our lucky winner and his friend got to hop on for the ride as well. Both of them were automotive mechanics, so it was a lovely chance to be on the receiving end of things. And they were doing it in complete style.
4.5 crores.
Yeah, man.
Glad you had fun. Take care.
Bye. Thanks.
Now, if you wanted to step from the lap of luxury into the wild, you could do that too.
Well, there really seems to be a little bit of everything here at Mahindra with this specially made course, and of course their Thars here have created a little bit of an area for showgoers to get a taste of what off-road's all about.
The Thar was made to clamber over steep inclines through ditches and light puddles to get the showgoers all shaken up. So this was really meant for those people with sturdy spines. Now, if you wanted to take matters into your own hands, you could do that too. Once on the bike, quad, I felt like I was trying to talk a different language. I wasn't completely at home, but it was an absolute hoot. And after a little bit of trying, I got the hang of it, or so I thought. Until some of the drivers from Harrison's got on and showed me how it's done. While quads are generally perceived as expensive toys, Harrison's is making them more accessible. Now, if you weren't in the mood to get your bones rattled, you could head out for some adventure at Maruti's Autocross course for showgoers to zip around in their own cars. You had to have precise car control to wind around the tricky technical course as quickly as possible without knocking any cones over. Reversing up a narrow path with a kink in it caught many people out. Though the easiest way to enjoy motorsports at the Autocar Performance Show was to just gaze at the machinery on hand. Lotus Renault's R31 F1 machine was an absolutely soothing balm. It's quite incredible that this logic-driven design also seems so artistic. Also from the international racing scene was Chevrolet's WTCC stalwart, the Cruze. From the homegrown racers front, Volkswagen gave showgoers a chance to get up close to their Indian Polo R Cup car. And Tata had the raid cars on display too. There certainly was no shortage of auto adrenaline. It would give any petrol head a happy high.
Well, there's really a lot that's been going on here. It's taken me a lot more time than I thought it would, and well, reasonably so, because there's just so much indoors, outdoors for you to check out and do. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm sure the people who turned up for it must have had a really great time here at the Autocar Performance Show. And I'm sure those of you who haven't managed to make it this year should try and do so next year.